My name is Litia and I'm from the beautiful island of Laos and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Casey, I'm from Tabua. We love Today FM in Tabua. Today FM rocks.
My name is Selina, I'm from Tawengavengamba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Pula, my name is Carlo. I love listening to the music in Today FM, in Malak Island. Today FM rock.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news, cement shortage affects construction projects. PM calls for tough actions as Oceans Conference gets underway. And crushing begins at Lautoka Mill.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
Numerous construction projects around the country are being affected by the chronic shortage of cement. This has resulted in construction companies slowing down on many projects as the scarcity of concrete blocks is now halting major developments. Kelly Vadala reports.
Construction sites like this have come to a halt since Pacific Cement Limited stopped production due to mechanical problems at its Lami factory 2 weeks ago.
We have one project in Waimaru starting on Friday. We'll be doing the groundbreaking ceremony. So if the cement is not there, that project can be held. Langi project in Rewanga, it has been stopped due to the block shortage. We are not able to get blocks from any of the suppliers.
Fortec construction site foreman Harry Prasad says it's getting difficult to complete various projects for many construction companies.
So the structures are ready to go on, but the shortage of block because we can't go ahead. And if the thing will continue, then you have to lay off the workers because we have more than 60 in place here.
Purchasing officer Jagat Veer adds if the shortage continues, the company and others like it may have to lay off some employees.
Plastermen and the block layers will be sent home if we are not able to get the cement because we can't fit in them in the carpenters section, and these people will be sent home.
Pacific Cement Limited Chief Executive Somwanitu Indrola says the frequent breakdown is due to the old age of the factory. The parts that needs to be replaced are more than 90 years old and is getting quite a slog getting hold of replacements overseas. The parts are expected to arrive into the country next month with the supply to normalize soon after. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
This degradation must stop. Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama and co-chair of the UN Oceans Conference was blunt about the need for action to roll back the tide of neglect on our seas in his opening address. He spoke to the World Oceans Conference, which began today in New York with the aim to save our seas. Maggie Boyle reports.
It's a call to the global community, accompanied with a full traditional Itoke ceremony to open the first international meeting on Sustainable Development Goal 14.
Let us send a clear message to the whole world that time is running out to save our seas and oceans. Just as it is running out to decisively tackle the fundamental causes of climate change.
Bainimarama calling on delegates to heed the warning that our waterways are choking as our oceans and seas are becoming vast rubbish dumps.
Let us all seize this moment in history to make a difference, to place SDG 14 at the very top of the global agenda alongside decisive climate action. We can do it and we must do it because the alternative in both cases is catastrophe.
The PM and incoming president of COP23 appealing to millennials.
I particularly want to appeal to young people across the world to do what you can to highlight this crisis and become an agent for change.
Head of the Commonwealth, Patricia Scotland, reiterated the need for a united front.
We can together do this. None of us can do this on our own, not one, but together, collectively, every country putting its shoulder to the wheel.
With more than 600 voluntary commitments already registered on the online portal, the PM stressed climate change poses the biggest threat the world has ever known, and everyone's support is needed to reverse this crisis. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
The country's largest sugar mill began operations today, aiming to crush around 500,000 tons of cane this season. Following the successful opening of the Lambasa mill last Thursday, the Fiji Sugar Corporation is anticipating a good season this year. Rapate Valeme reports.
Fiji Sugar Corporation Chief Executive Graham Clark says they are having a very encouraging start to the 2017 crushing season.
This morning saw the Lutoka factory start crushing cane for the coming season. Tomorrow, Rugby mill will open, which completes the season opening for 2017.
The FSC is targeting to crush over 2 million tons of cane this year.
800,000 at Lambasa, 500,000 tons here at Lutoka, and then the balance will be crushed at Rugby. So far, very smooth start in Lambasa and a good start this morning in Lutoka, so we're very encouraged for the coming season.
Farmers started queuing up from early morning to offload their cane.
We bring it the sugarcane from Ba, Tavrao, so approximately 15 ton. 15 ton, or 17 ton, 18 ton.
I'm from Drasa, farmer. I bring 9 or 10 tons cane today.
The Lutoka sugar mill begins crushing at 10 o'clock this morning. It was witnessed by stakeholders, farmers and employees of the Fiji Sugar Corporation. The Fiji Sugar Corporation will begin consultation tonight and tomorrow for the farmers in the Western Division. Rapate Valeme, FBC News.
A number of schools in the Central and Western Divisions have been singled out for mismanagement of government funds. Education Minister Dr. Mahendra Reddy says they have dealt with these schools and the management has been warned to refrain from committing such offences. Rachel Nath reports.
Government grants issued for education are devolved through school management, but it has been discovered that some schools are not practicing proper and fair distribution.
We need management to ensure that the money is going to the right place. Our teachers should not be starved of stationery, required stationery. Our students should get the best infrastructure.
A set of guidelines through a handbook has been introduced to assist in keeping the management in check.
We get reports that the money is not going in the right place, or management or the school head is not doing the job. Then we get a bit worried about it, and then we take the right step.
The issue has not gone unnoticed by the Fiji National Council of School Management.
Ensure that the grant that has been provided by the Ministry of Education that is rightfully utilized for the student and teachers resources, and at no point in time the Fiji National Council would entertain this sort of wrongdoings by school management.
The council says they are keeping tabs on the usage of grants that are given to carry out school development projects. Rachel Nath, FBC News.
Parliamentarian Balminder Singh, facing charges in relation to drinking and driving, was granted bail by the Nasinu Magistrates Court this morning. Singh was arrested last Friday by Valilevu police when his car went off the road in Andera. He is charged with dangerous driving and failure to supply breath analysis. He was released on $500 bail with 2 sureties. Singh will reappear on the 25th of next month. Still to come, correctional facility upgrade planned. And voter registration drive moves to Lao. Details after the break.
Nimbula vinaka na yavangunga andi moala radada ranalika. O tikonga na tao na singatoka. Ando talisaka na wakaronga ng Bula FM. Nambanduwa na sere.
Yadora chubuli kurnambili. Ibora ni batukara hambara binaranga. Total takinan na warongan ng Bula FM, number 2 en seri. Bula!
Bula FM, number 2 en seri.
The Fiji Corrections Service is upgrading and expanding its facilities to overcome the long-standing overcrowding issue. Commissioner Commander Francis Keane says they have a revolving strategic plan in place to address this. Sainiani Boiler reports.
The Fiji Corrections Service is working on developing its infrastructure to adjust for the increasing number of inmates under its care.
The new Women's Correctional Center in Lutoka will be completed towards the latter part of this year. We only have one Women's Correctional Center, that's in Suva. So hopefully some of the women that we have in Suva will now be transferred down to Lutoka. Lutoka will house both a convict center and also a remand center.
Member of the Public Accounts Committee 2015 audited accounts Ratu Selen Nobo questioned the decentralization of FCS services.
In the past years we heard that you're going to, the department was planning to decentralize correctional centers to
We don't have a remand center up in the north. There's a need to have one up in Lambasa, and also for one in Nasinu, to cater for the Nasinu-Nausori corridor. That's all part of the strategic revolving plan that we have to assist in some of the overcrowding issues that we have.
Meanwhile, the Fiji Corrections Service is also working on signing a memorandum of understanding with the Education Ministry to develop the Nasinu Correctional Center as a vocational center for first offenders. Sainiani Mboila, FBC News.
45 staff of the Fijian Elections Office will be heading to the Lao Group tomorrow as part of the nationwide voter registration drive. Director Operations Anaseni Senimoli says the FEO has identified 72 polling venues on the island. All Fijians must bring their birth certificates and valid photo ID in order to register. The voter registration drive will end next month.
All eligible Fijians in the Lao Group will have the opportunity to conveniently access the following services when our teams visit each community: electronic voter registration, upgrade to voter cards 2.0, corrections and change of voter details, visit to the 5 secondary schools in the Lao Group, check personal details on the National Register of Voters, reassessment of polling venues, and verification of deceased voters.
A charitable organization is seeking assistance from various stakeholders to provide a new direction towards better living for youths living on the streets. Eden Livestream Ministry has been working with street kids of Nandi to help them live a meaningful life.
These homeless kids now have new hope for a better living.
This is an NGO, a charitable organization that is running the development of young people who are living on the streets. They do not have any place to go and have no work. Most importantly, we are trying to lead them to a door that will lead them to a good life, supporting their families and their future.
William Itukai ended up on the streets after being neglected by his family.
Even though we live on the street, if you want to go and drink water, you have to pay. There is a need to help us, young people who live on the streets. This is to help develop our skills so we can earn a living from it.
One of the recipients says the ministry came to him as a good Samaritan.
We have reasons why we live like this on the streets. There has to be an explanation on why we are like this. I can't hide it. I'm one of the many who is a victim of abuse in my own home.
The ministry is calling for support to help these young people. One of its aim is to upskill these homeless youths so they can earn a living for themselves and contribute positively to the society. Ropatevaleme, FBC News.
A final round of media interviews was held today for the 14 young women contesting the Miss World Fiji pageant. For these two contestants from Lautoka, Miss World Fiji has been an eye-opener to many possibilities, allowing them to tap into opportunities they wouldn't otherwise have known.
Well, I'm excited and nervous both at the same time, and it's like amazing right now.
It'll be a surprising talent for all, a talent that you'll never forget. My talent that I'll be showing will be a memorable one.
Ahead in sports with Jamie, Dean's competition heats up, but joining us next is Rachel with business.
Thank you, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up in business tonight. SPTO's new look website to provide instant information to travellers. And in growing Fiji, Westpac Bank expands services in Navua. Stay with us.
I'm Anare Sorbakroa of Nayabu Wenibuga Telebu. Whenever I want to tune in to listen to great music, I always tune in to my favorite radio station, Gold FM, only the classic.
My name is Lita. We love listening to Gold FM here at the Fiji Hideaway Resort and Spa. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
We here at Kano Waterfront Lautoka love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Welcome back. Visiting South Pacific countries has been made easier for travelers who now have access to instant information. The South Pacific Tourism Organization launched its new look website, www.southpacificislands.travel in Sydney, Australia last month. The new look website has developed in line with the new SPTO brand launched a year ago. Chief Executive Chris Cocker says the site has been tailored specifically for the different types of client intel they serve. And now Elizabeth from HFC Bank is here to tell us about economic expectations for the coming week.
Let's take a look at our economic calendar for this week. This afternoon, the Reserve Bank of Australia will release their decision in regards to their monetary policy. It is expected that their interest rate will remain at 1.5%. On Wednesday, Australia and Europe will release their gross domestic products for the first quarter. It is anticipated that Australia's GDP will decrease from 2.4% to 1.6%, while Europe's GDP is expected to remain at 1.7%. While on Thursday, Australia will release its trade balance for the month of April, expected to decrease from 3.1 million to 1.9 million. And China will also release its trade balance figure, but for the month of May, it was last reported at 262.3 billion. Amidst all this, on Thursday, parliamentary elections will be held in the United Kingdom, and their economic impact depends on who wins. And that's our major economic releases for this week.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Now let's take a look at today's exchange rates. The Fijian dollar strengthened against the Chinese yuan and the American dollar to close at 3.21 and 47 cents respectively. Closer to home, the Australian dollar dropped, closing at 62 cents, while the New Zealand and PNG kina strengthened, closing at 65 cents and $1.31. As for the commodities market, oil prices dropped, closing at $47.43 a barrel. Gold rose, closing at $1,280 an ounce, and silver dropped, closing at $17.54 an ounce. And in growing Fiji tonight, around 13,000 people living in and around Nauvoo will no longer have to travel to towns and cities to access financial services, as Westpac Bank today launched an in-store merchant at the Harvest Supermarket in Nauvoo town that will provide basic banking services. Pranita Prakash has more.
Westpac Fiji's General Manager Brett Hooker says this is an effort to make banking easier and include more people in the banking system.
This in-store saves time and money by eliminating the need to travel into branches and allows customers to bank where they shop. Westpac branchless banking model encourages people to be more financially inclusive.
With the use of this Westpac Handy Card, people will be able to perform range of transactions such as cash withdrawals, cash deposits and have access to mini bank statements. People have been encouraged to utilize this service.
I find it encouraging that whenever we create a new financial product or launch a new service, it means we are expanding the reach of our country's financial system and putting up another pillar in financial inclusion for all.
For many, this service will save travelling time.
Service is good. We don't have to travel all the way to Suva. Don't have to go all the way to Suva now. The service is already here for us. There are people here who are not able to walk properly. People will be able to access financial services here.
This service will also contribute to the Westpac's macro target of providing financial literacy, banking the unbanked, providing financial service and narrowing the gap in the financial inclusion for women and girls. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
And that's a wrap from the business desk this evening. Jamie's back and bringing us the latest in sports.
Thank you, Rachel, and good evening. In sports after the break, Flying Fijian Centre says Fiji capable of upsetting Wallabies. And Gamel names squad for New Caledonia match. This and more coming up.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुकू रेकी रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची FM सुनती हूँ। मिर्ची FM is number 1. It's so hot.
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची FM सुनो अच्छा लगे। मिर्ची FM is hot.
हाय, मैं संध्या नारिया रेफरी से मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची FM सुनते हैं। मिर्ची FM is hot. I love मिर्ची FM.
हमें स्पिन टकता हुआ कि मिर्ची FM में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे।
मिर्ची FM, it's hot.
Vodafone Flying Fijian Centre Veroniki Ngoneva says his team has what it takes to topple Australia this weekend. Ngoneva has been a key member for the Flying Fijians for the past 9 years and is impressed with the amount of depth the team has, even with a few new faces. Rohit Deo with the story.
Pure dedication will be needed if the Flying Fijians are to give the Australians a good test, and Veroniki Ngoneva knows that very well.
We know Australia is a big team, and we're just looking forward for the challenge, and we know we can beat some tier 1 team, but we just have to believe in ourselves and work on our game plan.
Ngoneva says the new players have been doing well and stand a good chance of making the starting team.
We have a few senior boys in the team and lots of new faces in the team, and I know they know the big challenge ahead of us, and it's going to be a big challenge for a few 5 games in front of us.
Captain Akapu Singera says the Australians will be a hard nut to crack, but his team will give their best shot.
We know that Australia will be ready for this game. We just need to focus on ourselves and work on some bits and pieces that the coaches will put across, and we'll give Australia a good game.
Fiji takes on Australia at 5 p.m. in Melbourne this Saturday. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
The Nandi rugby side has been boosted with the inclusion of 2 Olympic gold medalists. Vatemo Robobo and Samisoni Viriviri played a crucial role in the team's 27-13 win over Madawata in the Skipper Cup competition last weekend. The pair are expected to feature for Nandi again when it hosts Namosi at 3 p.m. this Saturday at Prince Charles Park. You can catch live commentary of that match on Radio Fiji 1. Meanwhile, in other matches this week, Naitasiri plays Northland, Nananga battles Malolo, while Madawata will host Suva. The Vodafone Fiji football side will be a much more structured team when they face New Caledonia in the FIFA World Cup qualifier tomorrow. The side has been visiting schools as part of a team-building exercise before they face the classy French-Polynesian side. Rohit Deo reports.
Happy to meet their football stars, the 1,000-plus students at Luvu College in Singatoka were all smiles. Coach Christophe Gamel says visits like this creates a better bond between players.
The players now have another expectation because they get some pleasure to play against Solomon Islands. So, but it will be, we have seen the video, etc. It will be a really tough game.
Gamel adds that tomorrow's match will be a cracker, one that will test the capabilities of his players.
I know the coach, Thierry Sardo, and I know he just bring some new, very good player from France, professional also. So for us, it's a big test, you know. It's very important to know what is the level between amateur and professional. I try to bring some things.
The team has called on the fans to come out in numbers and support them.
Staff from Luvu College. Looking forward for the game against New Caledonia on Wednesday. We'll make you guys proud. I think we need all your support. Never mind if you win or lose, we need you there. And we know the boys is training well.
The match kicks off at 4 p.m. at Lotokas Churchill Park. The return leg will be hosted by New Caledonia next Monday. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, Christophe Gamel has named the strong side to face New Caledonia in the World Cup qualifier match tomorrow. Amani Makoi will captain the team. Experienced goalkeepers Ben Aminio Matai Nangara and Simeone Tamanisau will make the return to the national side along with Samuela Kautonga. Wellington Phoenix striker Roy Krishna has also been named in the 23-member team. Fiji takes on New Caledonia at 4 p.m. tomorrow at Lautoka's Churchill Park. Competition is heating up in the Eastern Division Dean's Rugby Tournament. St. John's the Wadi sent a strong message to other teams, defeating defending champions Queen Victoria School 21-8 in the under-18 grade. In another match, Ratukandabulevu School beat Lelin Memorial 22-12. In the under-16 grade, LMS thumped QBS 12-0, while St. John's the Wadi edged Ndelana Methodist 8-6. Matches continue this weekend. Rain frustrated Australia and kept Bangladesh's ICC Champions Trophy hopes alive as their Group A match was abandoned. Chasing 183, Australia reached 83 for 1 before rain arrived after 16 overs, 4 short of the number needed for a result. Here are the highlights.
That's his 50. He keeps that form going. He needs to get the 100 for his team again today. Ball on strike. Oh, it's in the air. And it's taken comfortably, so he falls. He was on track for his 10th one-day international 100. Would have been his first against Australia. It's 5 runs short.
Oh, got him. That'll do. Mitchell Stark finishes with figures of 4 for 29 in 8.3 overs, and Australia have bowled out Bangladesh for 182. 83 for 1, and I'm afraid regulations demand that the umpires must call drinks onto the field. I think, just as the umpires call drinks, Nigel Long and Chris Gaffney have decided that the rain is coming down too heavily, so they've asked the groundsman to bring on the covers.
That's it from sports this evening. Catch weather later on with Angie, and in new media, take a look at the latest gadget released by Apple. That's coming up.
Bula, keron may singatoka, keron do talita ka na varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon mo tikola untuk talita na Radio Fiji 1 kena Domoy Viti.
Kaya ako sila tali, naguraramay na omani, nandunga. Gitu talita gini ang gitu Venezuela, nagudurong varorong na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti na ponga ni BNN.
In new media, Apple has announced a voice-activated loudspeaker powered by its virtual assistant Siri. Like devices by Amazon and Google, Apple's HomePod speaker can respond to questions and control smart home gadgets such as lights. Angie joins us now with the very latest in weather.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. Rainy conditions continued into today, and if you take a look outside, it's probably very dull and gloomy plus rainy. It has been like that throughout the country, with a little increment in the wind speed. Looking at today in the west, there was absolutely no show of pure sunshine. Instead, the clouds covered up and occasional showers are indicated for later tonight. Eastwards from Pekhaba to Suva, rain clouds gathered up and brought us afternoon showers, which will continue into tonight as well. And up in Vanuatu, a bit of sunshine was around, but rain also took charge. At sea, east to southeast winds 15 to 20 knots with moderate to rough seas. And for the tides, low tide will be at 10:47 tonight, with a high tide at 4:59 tomorrow morning. Sunrise will be at 6:33. For tomorrow, we will have conditions just like today. Tomorrow's temps, majority centers will be cool at 29 degrees. Looking ahead to Thursday, conditions are likely to improve. And that, Jackie, is FBC weather for tonight.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. On Fiji and Pulse today, we asked, what do you think of Fiji's chances against the Wallabies this weekend?
Yeah, our boys will really give the Australians a good run for their money, and we'll have a really good game. And I'm looking forward to them taking on the Australians. So.
We only assembled last week. Wallabies assembling this week. So so we have an advantage in terms of 2 weeks 2 weeks preparation times compared to Australia 1 week preparation time. So you know, and all the players are professional, and so I think we stand every chance, you know, to perform well and to win, to get a good result.
I like Fiji team is very good. They will beat Willoughby this time.
I believe it's going to be a good encounter, especially having our local boys playing against some of our boys in the Wallabies.
In the world of the not-so-weird but wonderful, the participation of Fijian troops in the peacekeeping mission to Timor-Leste has left behind some fond memories for its local people. Eleanor Turangaiviu caught up with one such local during her recent trip to Timor-Leste.
Meet Benito Quintao, who crossed paths with the Fijian troops who were stationed.
I have so many friends from Fiji. Mr. Rambo is my best friend. We go anywhere together because we work in the UN mission.
Quintao coincidentally was the driver for the 3 Fijian journalists chosen to be part of a familiarization tour of the development projects currently undertaken by the government of Timor-Leste. He loves the Fijian music.
Every night I always play with the Fijian army.
Play music?
Yeah. Including the traditional Fiji. We make the kava, tanoa, taki. I take like a coconut, the banana, it's called tapioca, batata. That is I always give to the Fijian army.
Quintao has not seen or been in touch with his friend Rambo since the end of their mission in Timor-Leste. If you're wondering who this Rambo is, his real name is Nadam Bulunrao. He is still a serving soldier. What do you want to say to Mr. Rambo now?
Yeah, I hope Mr. Rambo always be remembered. And there's their mission in this way.
Eleanor Turangaiviu, FBC News.
Recapping the main stories, cement shortage affects construction projects. PM calls for tough actions as Oceans Conference gets underway, and Lautoka Mill aims to crush 500,000 tonnes of cane this season. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question this week, we are asking, has the campaign for next year's general election started too soon? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, today's shot of the day was taken by Kaiwai Diver, a family group enjoying the sunset on Bulia Island in Ono, Kandavu. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, good night.
हमारा नाम संत कुमार है, हम रेडियो फीजी 2 सुनता है और ताबुआ में सबसे बेहाल रेडियो फीजी 2 है यार।
हम बिना विमलेश रकाविंदी ताबुआ से रेडियो फीजी 2 हमारा सबसे फेवरेट स्टेशन है।
हमारा नाम ब्रूस राव है, रकेरेकी मार्केट वेंडर और रेडियो फीजी 2 देश के धड़कन 1954 से हम सुनता है।
हम कबूली ताबुआ रहता है, हमारा नाम है रमेश चंद और हमारी मछली के धंधा है और हम सब टाइम रेडियो फीजी 2 सुनता है।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।